Hi everyone, it's Phyllis. Today I'm going to show you how to make a 4x4 raw pendant. I am showing here today, this is the one we make in the video, and I just want to show you that I used the fire polish beads so that I could show you so it would be easier to show you how to make the project. But the pendant that I've been wearing, I used 3mm Swarovski Bicones to make it, and I used transparent demi rounds here to go through, to solidify, to make the square shape. And it's also 5x5. You can use whatever type of beads you want and crystals that you want to make this project, because it's right angle weave. It's so versatile and so beautiful. You can do so many different things. This is just a basic project, and all I did was I purchased a chain. I made a bail, a beaded bail, and I passed the chain through the bail on both of these. So I really hope you stick around. I hope you like this project. The next thing I'm going to do is show you what I used for materials. For the video, I'm going to use 4mm fire polish beads, and this color is iris blue. I'll use 4mm fire polish beads in gold, 11O seed beads. These are my Yuki, and the color is metallic rainbow bronze. 2 size 10 beading needles, an 18-inch chain that already has a lobster clasp attached, my bead board, 6-pound fire line in the smoke color, my flat nose pliers, and my nippers. Let's get started. When I made this pendant, I used one color of Bicone crystals, and as you can see, I made a 5x5 pendant, and I used 2 crystals for each sides of my units. I'm going to use a 4mm fire polish. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, except I won't be making a 5x5 pendant. I'll make a 3x3 or even a 4x4, and I'll show you with the larger crystals, with the more cylinder shape, so that you can really see it. But it's right angle weave, and it's going to be the same technique. You can use anything you like to use whenever you make your project. Just be mindful that if you use multiple colors, like I'm going to show you today, that they're all the same size. I'm going to set my size 11 seed beads aside. I don't need them right now. I don't need them until I finish the dimension. As I always mention when I'm doing a right angle weave project, that each right angle weave unit is made up of 4 sides or 4 points. Always. That's never a variable. It's going to be always. And I'm not talking about doing a project where you can make the sides anything you want. I'm doing 4 right angle weave sides. So, and also because I decided to use a border color and an inside color, I want to point out to you that I've laid out these beads this way. I'm going to need, of course, 4 sides. But to start out, I'm going to be making a corner, and I'm going to build on my, I'm going to build on the units from there. So my 2 corners are going to be the outside gold color. And one of the insides is going to be the blue, and the other side, of course, will be a blue. So what I did basically was I strung on the 4 gold and 2 blue on one needle, and I picked up the last 2 beads on my right needle, and I'm going to cross my threads through these 2. Each of my sides is going to be made up of 2 beads. So it's a little more complicated than the things that we've been doing together. I started out with the simple, and now I'm teaching myself how to teach you a little more complex. So let's look at this. I have my 2 corners. My right corner, my right side, which is one of the corners, and my top side, which is one of the corners. My inside left and my inside bottom. I'm going to build my units forward. So I'm going to do that by, I know that I need a side, here. I know that I need a side here, 2 on my left. And if it helps, you could do it this way. Oh boy, I'm glad I looked at that. This fire polish bead will rip my thread all apart. It's cut right there in the top. I'm gonna replace that. I'm going to bring it down and show you what that looks like. Now, as I keep going, so I have my outside, now my inside. So it's the same thing we've always been doing. And as usual, I have to get my thread caught on something. All right. It's the same as we've always been doing. And when I after we get the first unit on, I try to get us going by stringing on something on the left and something on the right, and then crossing through something. This is the same thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cross through 2 of the blue. And I think I'm going to make a 3x3 because this is kind of big, just for the video. And again, we're here. What I'm doing now is I'm going to, actually I'll make a 4x4. I'll continue. I'm going to pick up 2 gold on the right, 2 blue on the left, and I'm going to string on 2 blue on my right needle and cross my needles through. And that is our 3rd unit. Now, for our final unit, we're going to string on 2 gold on the right needle, which is going to make up my 4th outside box. I decided to make a 4x4 project, and I'm going to string on 2 blue on my left needle. I'm going to bring them down, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I'm simultaneously making my box and the turn at the same time. So we know exactly what we need. We have 2 gold here on the side. We have our 2 gold in the middle. What I have to do though now is I have to make my bottom. My bottom is going to be made up of 2 gold. And when I pull them down, you see exactly where they fit. That is our little square right there. However, I'm not going to cross my needles through the two gold because I'm about to make a turn. I'm going to cross my needles through the blue. So with the right needle, continue, you pass right through these two fire polish beads right here. I'm just going to leave it there and pull the thread so you can see how that sets up for you. And of course, in my own typical fashion, I'm just going to muddle something up. Okay, so this is what the outside of our pendant is going to look like. You've got the top corner here, and you've got the bottom corner here. You have 4 units, and now what we're going to do is we are going to continue to build on these units. And like I said, that this is going to be a 4x4 project. The video could be pretty lengthy because I don't want to leave you doing any of this. Now, we have 2 needles, and I'm going to start off with using my right needle. On my right needle, I'm going to string on 2, because we are building, we already have one side, and we're going to make units going back this way, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to, once we get here, we're going to go back this way. Once we get here, we're going to go back that way, and for our 4x4 boxes, our 4x4 project. So now we're here. Now I have to make the bottom. So I've strung on, or the top, whichever way you look at it, I've strung on 2 of my gold fire polish beads. Now we're not at the end of the project yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making the inside now. So for here, I'm going to string on 2 fire polish in blue, just to show you that coming this way, this is what we need, coming this way. And for the inside, I'm going to string on 2 more fire polish beads. What I'm going to do is I'm going to string on those beads with my I'm going to string on the 2 inside with my left needle, and I'm going to cross my needles through these 2, and get my thread caught on something as usual and get everything out of focus. But I'm going to pull this back down here so you can see what I'm doing. When I pull my thread, we have another unit. Okay, we're working on the inside, so I can't forget that we're gonna have blue on the inside now. So I need you to pay close attention, because now we get into that stuff that we couldn't stand in school when the teachers were talking about right angles and all kinds of things. I never knew that right angles was going to come and have anything to do with anything that I ever did in my life as an adult. And then I learned how to make jewelry, and all of that changed. So now let me show you what we have here. We always have the 4 sides per unit, okay? I'm about to make the unit that attaches here. And this unit already has 2 sides. Can you look at that, right? So you've got the inside here, the top side here. We're going to need to make the side that goes here and the side that goes here. And I'm going to we have to reposition our threads so that we can make these units work. So the thread that I have that's coming towards the inside of the work, the one that's coming towards right here, the inside, we have to reposition this thread in order for us to move on. So you're going to pass your needle through those two fire polish beads right there. And I'm happy I'm using a larger bead so you can really see what we're doing. And now we are in position to place our beads where we need them to be. So if it's any easier for you, I just, with the needle that I just passed through here, I already know that I'm going to need inside colors. And so I'm going to string on my 2 blue right here. All right, I'm still working on the inside, so with my, and of course my thread comes off, of course. It's gonna be one of those videos. All right, with my right needle now, I'm going to string on 2 of my fire polish beads, and then I'm going to pass that right needle through the left, these 2 fire polish beads right here. I'm going to pull my thread down after I untangle it, of course. Pull my thread down so you can see where we are. And with that needle that I still have in my right hand, I have to reposition so that we can move on to the next unit. I need to reposition my needle by going through the next 2 fire polish beads and pulling my thread. And we're going to do that again. Hope you're with me. If you're not with me, please rewind or stay tuned, because I'm going to do the same thing. Now, again, we're still working on the inside, so my inside color is blue. I'm going to string on 2 of my blue, and I'm going to slide them down so you can see where they have to go. Now that's what I was doing with my left needle. And as you have probably figured out, everything that you do, every time you cross your needles, you know, they become in a new position. They're either the left needle or the right needle, but after you cross them, they're either the left needle or they change positions. So now that was the thread that I just had in my right hand, and I passed it through these 2, and I strung on these 2 fire polish beads, and now it's in my left hand. So now my right hand, I'm still working on the inside here, so I need to string on 2 more blue fire polish beads, and I'm going to continue with this right needle and pass that needle right through these 2 fire polish beads right here and pull the thread. And with that same needle in my right hand, I'm going to reposition myself, and I'm going to go through these 2 fire polish beads and pull my thread, and now this needle is my left needle. It was just my right needle as I passed through and repositioned, but it is now my left needle. So now we're here at a corner again. We know that we need a border that is gold. So with my left needle, I'm going to string on the 2 gold beads, and I'm going to slide them down so you can see where they belong. Okay. Now, because we are at a corner right here, I need to position myself so that when we come out here, we can just go ahead and make a turn. It's not so bad, it's not so hard, but I just want to make sure that we are all together. On my right needle, I'm going to string on these 2 blue fire polish, and I'm going to pull them to where they belong. And I'm going to cross through these 2 blue with the left needle, the one that I strung the gold beads on. And why am I doing that this way? Because we're making a turn, and we need for our needles to be positioned coming out this way. And I gotta tell you, even though it might be a little cumbersome doing this with 2 needles, I believe that teaching it with 2 to beginners is easier than teaching it with 1. So now I have pulled my threads, and we have a 4 units twice. So right now it's 4 by 2. So what we're going to do is, we know that we are going to continue, and we're going to make this a 4 by 4 project. So we still have the blue on the inside and the gold border going. I'm really liking these colors. So how I'm going to start this is, I'm going to string on my gold border Right, we already have the one unit, so we're beginning, and we know we have to add 3 units here. We're going to, with the right needle now, string on our inside, and I'm going to put it right here where it belongs so you can see. And then with the left needle, we're still making our blue insides. With my left needle, I'm going to string on 2 of the blue fire polish beads, and with that needle I'm going to continue, and I'm going to pass my needle through these 2 fire polish beads right here on the inside and pull my thread, and you're going to see we are beginning our 3rd row. So now here we are again, and the needle that we just had passing through, the left needle that we just crossed through here, we're going to continue passing this left needle through these 2 fire polish beads so we can get into position to make our next unit. Once here, the needle that I just passed through these 2 becomes the needle in your right hand, and this other needle is the one that we're going to string on. So we're working on our inside now. We're going to string on 2 fire polish beads for the side. We did that with the left needle, and then on the right needle we're going to string on 2 of the blue, pull them down where you can, so that you can see where they belong. Get that left needle again and pass it through these 2 beads right here. Just the 2. And pull them down, and with that needle that you just passed through these 2 on the side, you continue right here through these 2. Just so we can reposition for our next unit. Pull your threads, make sure things are tight. Okay, now with the right needle again, we will string on these 2 blue, and the left needle will string on 2 blue, and with that left needle we will continue passing through these 2, and excuse me, pull the threads, and we continue passing through that needle with that needle, that left needle. So now that it's going to become your right needle, and we are at the bottom edge, and we can see exactly what we need here to finish the bottom. We need a border color, and our border, string on 2 gold, and I'm going to string on with the same needle 2 blue so we can finish this unit. So I can pull them and show you where they belong. And we're doing this way because we're on a corner. And with our left needle, we're going to pass through these 2. and pull the threads. We're getting there. So now we have a 4x3 unit, and now the last unit is going to have our border color. Start out the same way as usual by stringing on 2 of our gold beads. And this side has to be the same as this edge here, so I'm going to need 2 more for the border. And pull them down so you can see where they belong. And then I'm going to use my same needle, and I'm going to put on my 2 inside beads, and I'm going to show you right where they belong. I know I did this previously with the other needle, but this is so versatile as long as you're getting in the position, because remember, we are repositioning because we are starting a new row. So with my left needle, I'm going to pass through these 2 fire polish beads right here to get set up to finish the pendant. Not that bad. I'm working it. I'm working it. All right, now we are all set up here on this last corner, and what do we know about this? That once we have our needles here, remember I have to make we have 2 sides already, but in order to get the proper positioning for our beads, we have to pass our this is the right needle that's coming out this way, and the inside one is my left needle right now, and I'm going to pass through these 2 beads, and now we are in position. What we know about this is the inside is my left needle, and this outside part is my right needle. With my outside, I'm going to string on 2 of the gold beads because we're working on that border, because this is 4x4. I'm going to untangle my threads, okay, and with my left needle I'm going to string on 2 of my blue and pull them down this way. With my right needle, I'm going to pass through these 2 blue and continue for repositioning for the next unit. Pass through these 2 blue. That's what I did with my right needle, and now that right needle has become my left needle. Now for the outside, I'm going to string on my border color, 2 of them, bring them down here so you can see them because they belong on the side. With my left needle, I'm going to string on my inside color and pull them down. With my right needle, I'm going to pass it through these 2. Pull the thread, and with that same right needle continue so I can through these 2 for the repositioning. And now we are at the end where we need 2 border sides. So with my left needle, actually with my right needle, I'm going to string on the 2 gold for the outside, and the 2 gold on my left needle for the inside, and I'm going to pass my right needle through these two, just like this, and pull your thread. Would you look at that? Now we have a 4x4 pendant. It's a square, but we are going to wear ours like this. We're not quite done. As you can see, it has the beautiful definition of the little floral right angles on the inside, and it's got the outside color. But in order for us to solidify our position and make it to look like the pendant that we want, we have to use our size 11 seed beads. And I'm going to use one needle at a time. I'm going to put this one needle off to the side, and I'm going to pick this right needle up here, and I'm going to string on. Oh no, I might need to string on too. Nope. I'm going to string on one size 11 seed bead and pass it through 2 fire polish. I think I gotta pick this up to do this. String on one size 11 seed bead and pass it through to 2 fire polish. Continue, string on one size 11 seed bead and go through 2. Keep doing the same thing. You string on one size 11 and string through 2 fire polish, and just keep doing that all the way around. And when you get all the way around, I will see you there. I'm going to do mine off camera. Okay, see you in a second. I have placed a size 11 seed bead in between every 2 fire polish beads, and I'm at the place now where the thread that I had set aside is coming out here, and I'm here going toward it. I am going to string on a size 11 seed bead, and I'm going to pull it down, and once here I'm going to tie these threads, being careful not to get my size 11 seed bead caught up in that in the knot that I'm tying right now, and also being careful to keep my threads in their positions. I want to keep the left thread on the left side and the right thread on the right side. This time when I tie this knot, I'm going to pass my needle through the loop twice. So the left thread is still this way and the right thread is still on the right side. I'm going to now pass my right thread all the way to the corner. Pass it through these fire polish beads, that size 11 bead, these 2 fire polish, and the corner size 11. Now what I'm going to do is take the left needle, and I'm going to reinforce the entire border, and I'm going to do that while you're not looking. What I mean by that, I'm going to start out by going through this size 11 seed bead, these 2 fire polish, this size 11, these 2 fire polish, this size 11, and I'm going to reinforce the whole outside. And you don't need to see me do this, and when I get back up here, I'll turn the video back on. I finished reinforcing, and once I get my threads to meet, I'm going to do the same thing I did the last time that they met. I'm going to tie them in a knot. So I'm going to pass my thread through one loop, and then when I make this second loop, I'm going to pass the thread through it twice. And pass my right thread through a few of these beads. And take my other thread, needle, and pass through several of these. Pull tight, pull tight. And there you have the 4x4 pendant with the fire polish beads. And the difference is striking because these are 3mm bicones that I used, and the only thing that we have to do now is to make our bail. But before we make our bail, we need to get rid of our threads. How about that? I got my nippers here. I'm stretching the thread on this side and nipping off, and I'm stretching the thread on this side and nipping off. So in order to make the bail, I just take one of the threads. The only thing I'm going to do is string on, I don't know, maybe 20 of these size 11 seed beads. That should be big enough for a bail. And it's the simplest thing. I'm not going to attach it to this little seed bead here. I'm just going to pass my needle through this this corner unit and pull my thread down. And pull my thread down once I finish picking it up, so that I can make sure that I'll have enough room to pass my chain. That's 20. I think I'm gonna add, I'm adding 3. So I've got 23 seed beads on, and I'm gonna leave about 4 inches at the end, and I'm gonna pass my needle through all of these seed beads as best I can. And you don't have to watch me do this, but what you want to do is you want to pass your needle through this bail that you made maybe 3 times. 3 times with fire polish, with fire line is good to make a secure one. So when you continue passing 3 times around, you get to where your threads meet up and tie a couple of knots and cut off your thread, and then I'll come back. The pendant is complete, the bail is added, and the only thing left to do now is to attach our chain. This, like I said, is an 18-inch chain that I bought. It is stainless steel, gold. I've got some allergies to metal, so stainless steel doesn't do me wrong. And even if I don't wear it. I don't want anybody to have an allergy. So it already comes with a lobster clasp. Open that up and slide it through here, through the bail. And clasp it on, and there you have it. A complete pendant. And I'm going to put my 5x5 next to it so you can see. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you try to make it, and let me know what you think. See you next time.